Guten heute, alle Leute. Long time no YouTube. Then again, that's why I never mention an update schedule, because I know I won't be able to keep to it. Anywho, let's get on with it and talk a bit about what I've been up to, or haven't been up to. First, I want to mention the fact that you're seeing a vlog on YouTube and not on VidMe, and that's because VidMe is gone. It died 2 weeks ago, something like that, December the 14th, if I remember correctly. They couldn't find a financial model that was solid enough to compete with YouTube and Facebook and I guess Instagram and every other video sharing platform that you can conceive of. I still think that VidMe had the right idea. They did not put ads directly into the videos, only in the actual UI outside of the videos, and they also allowed for paid subscriptions and tips, that giving $1 or whatever you needed or wanted to pay for a video or sponsor the creator. Still, they couldn't duke it out with the big guys, so they folded, which is sad because YouTube really needs a good competitor and Facebook isn't that competitor. YouTube have a way to you already subscribe to a channel, but now you can sponsor it. It's still in early beta if I recall correctly, but what you do is that you sponsor a channel with a paid amount per month per channel. And the problem is that this is a fixed amount. It's $5 per channel or 50 Swedish krona. And the problem with that is if I have hundreds of channels that I subscribe to, I wouldn't want to sponsor all of them. I think Stephen Colbert can manage without my sponsorship. But if I just want to sponsor 10 channels, that's $50 a month. And that's too much. So I might end up sponsoring 1 or 2 channels at the most. And I'd much rather see a way to set my own amount. Perhaps a minimum of $1 so that the overheads of all the transaction isn't that much. But the best thing would be a tip button, a tip jar of sorts. So I really like this video. Here's $1 or 2 or 5 or 10 or 100. Without committing to a monthly subscription. So $5 per month per channel, too much. I think YouTube can do better, and I hope they do, because as of now there's really not an option. So yeah, my vlogs are back on YouTube. I will upload the few other ones that were on VidMe as soon as this one goes up. My internet is still quite slow. I'm hoping to get fiber in a week or 2, but they did not manage to provide it before New Year's, end of New Year. So, end of year, the end of the new year. That's more than a year away. Never mind. Also, I've been starting to getting in shape. This could be a New Year's Eve promise and all of that, but it's something I've been meaning to do for a long time. I'll show you. I'll try to show you my progress in coming vlogs. There will be no unnecessary or unneeded nudity. I will be fully clothed, but in tight clothes, to give you an idea of how I'm progressing. Hopefully progressing. I'm mostly going to start working out a lot more, going to the gym 4 days a week and trying to have walks. Or play my rock band drums if the weather isn't allowing for a walk. And I'll still be eating because I eat pretty healthy. And I'll just make sure I burn that energy a lot more efficient. Talking about burning, my eye surgery, the recovery is going well, I would say. I still have a problem with vision up close, the double vision. I have no problems seeing this far away. I have really good eyesight on further distances, but up close it's still blurry. The doctor said my eyes look great, they're healing perfectly, as they should, so I'm just hanging in there and hoping for the best. So, with that out of the way, I'll get to the rest of this vlog. What we're looking here is the lighting on my porch. It's, as you can see, not entirely working. There's a huge strip to the right that's not lit up, and on the left side in the image there's another strip that isn't lit up. That's because the soldering between the strips is broken. I need to redo that. The problem is though that when recording this, my eyesight still weren't perfect. It's still a bit bad, but it's not good here. So not only am I not able to see what I'm doing, it's also a bit too cold to get this to work properly, especially the way I'm doing it. So in the end, I had to give up on this. We'll see a quick sped up footage of me trying, and it just won't work. I can't get it done. So I'll have to do this coming summer or something. I also pulled up a couple of these bustards. They have plagued me for a while now. I cleaned a part of the porch with my pressure washer. This section was especially evil. It was so slippery, it was like walking on ice. It was horrible. I almost fell and broke a hip or something. So I cleaned roughly half of the porch, and as you can see, it made a huge difference. There's a lot of slime and goo and goop on the porch here. So this I appreciated. This was a good well spent time. Besides that, I needed to continue with the sawing. I ran out of gas, so I decided to sharpen the chain while I was at it. I know how to do this. I'm pretty good at it. But again, my poor eyesight played tricks on me, because when doing this, I thought I had everything lined up properly. But when it came to checking some other measurements, I just couldn't see what was what and if it was correct or not. I did my best to check these things, but in the end it really didn't work out for me. So I had to make an educated guess and see if this was good enough for me to keep on going. But as you can see, it's still not doing a very good job. It's better than it was before, but it's still a bit too dull. I really had to work my way through this log. And sure, this log is wet as something wet, but still it takes too long to get through this. And you can see that the chain and the blade is getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and it starts steaming. So yeah, I was thinking that perhaps it was just for that piece, since it had been half cut, the rain had gotten to it. So I decided to give it another try with this one. But it's still, even in the sped up footage, still apparent that it's not working as intended. It's starting to steam more and more and more. Yeah, it shouldn't take this long to get through a piece of pine, even a wet piece of pine. So yeah, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed, as they say. So checking the cut, and it's not very good. So once again, for the first time, try another cut. Better. I'm still not happy with it, but at this point in time I just wanted to get it done with. So I persevered, because I realized that with my eyesight I wouldn't be able to do a much better job anyhow. And believe me, I cut quite a bit of wood here. I'm not including all of it for posterity's sake. This bastard was so heavy that I could barely maneuver it over to this rock, as you can see, let alone carry it over to my chopping stance. A sawhorse, I would guess it's called. So I decided to give it a try here, have a crack at it, and yeah, It's getting the job done, but I'm guessing I'm wearing down the saw more than I need to. And also it's quite tiresome having to saw like this. And in hindsight, I probably should have sped up this footage as well. Oh, here we go. Done. And here you can see that the saw is curving the cut because it's unevenly sharpened. I know this from previous experience, before I was even semi-competent at filing or sharpening a chainsaw chain. And again, it's tough going. And this is pine. It's not like it's oak or mahogany or something tough. Still, I managed to cut it down enough for me to just somehow move it over. As elegant as anything you've ever seen. Get it over to my sawhorse so that I could at least have a somewhat proper position to cut this up with. Yeah, this... Man, I'm so efficient at this. Did you see that? Like a true logger, I started my chainsaw. And I'll spare you the boring details. This is just... But yeah, the steaming is quite impressive though. I like that part. And again, let's just get this over with. There you go. And again, the steaming. Steaming pile of crock. Now this birch is easy to cut up, mostly because it's smaller, I would assume, but this was tolerable getting this done. Here though, you can see I'm struggling. Again, a lot of cutting cut out. And I felt that the saw acted funny. I'm not really sure what it was. I couldn't feel or see or notice anything particular until here, where it broke for reals. I finished this cut, but I noticed that there was something up with the saw that I had to fix before continuing. And as you can see, the screw for this handle had come loose from the cylinder head. So before I could do any cutting, I needed to fix that one. And when that was fixed, this was the weather. So I decided to not do any more cutting. I dissected an old laserjet printer that I had been... it's been lying around for like forever. It worked at one time, was a real workhorse. I think I printed thousands of pages here at home. And before that, I can't remember where I got it from work, obviously, but I'm not sure. But it had hundreds of thousands of copies printed on it. This is the pile I'm going to save. There's a lot of springs and cogs and what have you in here. Hopefully I'll be able to reuse some of it. And the rest I'll just throw away. Or I have thrown it away as I speak. But it feels wrong to just throw these things away. I'm not sure if I'll ever be using them, but at least I've recycled it a lot better than if I threw it all away as one printer. Me and my brother spent Christmas with my father down in southern Sweden, and this is the weather I think this was the day before Christmas, and Christmas Eve, not Christmas Day. We celebrate on Christmas Eve in Sweden. So as you can see, it's not snowy at all. I think it was like 8 or perhaps even 10 degrees plus. Celsius, of course, that's what we use in Sweden. That's my dad to the left and my brother to the right. It's really lovely. Winters can be fantastic, but as you can see, this is just dreary and muddy and horrible. But we decided to go out for a walk anyhow. My dad is in pretty bad health. He has it's called KOL in Swedish. He's been smoking his entire life, so he has a hard time breathing now. But still, yeah, I wanted to show you what winter in the south of Sweden looks like, and it's really not much better up here in the west of Sweden. We gave my dad a robotic vacuum cleaner for Christmas, and he really likes it. He's been raving about it both when we were down there and afterwards through email. It's really neat. It helps him a lot. He's a widower, so he needs all the help he can get, and cleaning isn't all that fun to begin with, so why not? And it's quite clever. It gets things done. As you can see, it swept that one up just perfectly. Besides this, I've been working on the Buick quite a bit, getting along really nice. I would have been working on it this evening as well, but my brother and a friend are coming over. I've been painting some models for my nephews. I'll have a video up on that project soon-ish, something like that. Otherwise, I wish you a happy new year, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.